Hi everyone. Welcome to this live webinar on target-based investments with Lifey. Today we have with us Gaurav Avasthi, who's head Ultra HNI and Family Office at ICICI Securities Private Wealth Management. Gaurav Avasthi has over 19 years of experience in the industry, spanning across strategy consulting, corporate banking, and wealth management. Today, he will share his views on a topic which affects everyone, planning for your retirement. Welcome, Gaurav.
Thank you so much, Dimple. Thank you so much for your kind introduction.
Yeah. So, what do you think proper planning for retirement means?
So, it's an easy and a difficult question at the same time. So, I would really want to split it into two parts. And before you actually go into retirement planning, I think the first step is just to, take stock of what is available right now. So, first step is just to build a balance sheet of what are your assets, liabilities, how are they doing. And the second step is really to try to estimate what is the corpus that you will need for your retirement. And once you start thinking in terms of what is the corpus that you need in terms of in terms of your retirement, then obviously there are multiple other smaller factors that come in. One of the key factors there is that what is the inflation rate that you are assuming uh, uh, 10 years, 20 years down the line. And secondly, I think the key is that are you planning all your or are you capturing all your expenses correctly to ensure that whatever lifestyle that you are managing right now, you are able to really manage your retirement with the same lifestyle without really drawing down.
So, what are the most common mistakes people make while planning for their retirement?
I think the most common mistake that people make is that they don't plan for the retirement. In the US, there was a survey conducted in 2021, which essentially shared that close to 40% of the people will not reach their retirement goals, and another 15% would barely reach their retirement goals, and there were about 40-45%, who were reaching their retirement goals comfortably. In India, there is not too much data available, but whatever data is available, close to 80% of the people in India, in a survey that I read, are not prepared for retirement, have not planned for it, and are actually scared of what is going to happen at the retirement age. Uh, Another close to 80% of the respondents above the age of 50 actually commented that they wished that they could have planned their retirement, or they could have done their retirement planning far more earlier, so that they would have some buffer in terms of the retirement. I think the other mistakes that people make is that a lot of expenses are mixed out. In a younger age, typically you will not find too much health related expenses. As you grow older, especially post retirement, if you're retiring at the age of 60, typically your expenses will also rise up from a health point of view. So I think the two key mistakes that people make is, one is that they don't start planning for retirement. They don't start planning for it early. And thirdly, they underestimate the expenses that you really require for retirement.
Okay. You had mentioned something about target-based investing. What is that, and how does that help in achieving your retirement goal?
So, target-based investing, is essentially more goal-based planning in terms of how are you managing your finances, out of which the large pie is retirement planning. That is the biggest, one of the biggest goals that you have in life, that you will plan a comfortable retirement. And while retirement is a long term goal, but depending on what age you are, if it's 10 years away, 20 years away, 5 years away, a lot of times we also have intermediate goals in life, whether it is children's education, children's marriage, or a second vacation home, or or any other specific, or maybe a dream car. So depending on what your specific goal is, you can actually define that goal and create aside a corpus which you are managing specifically just to reach that goal. Typically that is what you do. So retirement planning is obviously the largest goal, in a sense the largest target based goal, but you can have a lot of smaller target based goals in your life. This may be something as simple as maybe planning a foreign vacation 2 years ago, or 2 years later, or maybe saving up money to ensure that your child goes to a good foreign university.
Okay. Okay. So is there a tool available in the market which can help an investor plan for their retirement?
So there are multiple tools available in the market that allow you to really plan for your retirement. There are retirement calculators available. In fact, even in ICICIdirect, we have created this tool which is called Lifey, which is essentially Lifestage investment goals for you, or that is available online, and it is like a do-it-yourself kind of a kit where you can actually uh, define your expenses, what is the kind of assumptions that you are making on inflation rate, etc., the number of years that you have there from a working point of view, where you can really save money, what is the current amount of corpus that you have. So it has multiple factors that you can really plug in, and it will help you to give you a sense in terms of what is the current corpus that you require at the time of requirement. Plus also, if you if you need to increase decrease either your level of savings on a annual basis, or the lump sum required at this point of time. So it's a very interactive tool. It really helps you uh, figure out what is it that you need for your goals.
So is Lifey only a tool for retirement, or can we use it for other life stage milestones as well?
So the way we have created Lifey is that while retirement is obviously the biggest goal, but we have allowed you to really set up multiple goals, at the same time. So where retirement can be a goal, education can be a goal, children's marriage can be a goal, and all these goals can be parallelly set, and you can define what is the contribution for each goal and really invest through that. So it is not just from a retirement planning perspective, it is also there for you to manage any of your goals that you need.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
think it may even make sense if we can really show a quick demo of Lifey, so that people really get a handle of what actually the entire tool is all about.
yeah, so let's have a demo then.
So Utkarsh, you
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Utkarsh here. So we will start the demo with the current topic which is under discussion, which is retirement. So with Lifey, as you can see, Lifey helps you determine what are your monthly expenses. Lifey helps you calculate from the age you are currently on. So we can use as example 30 as an age, and at what age do you want to retire. It gives you that freedom itself also, and it also gives you a leeway of understanding till what age do you wish to maintain the same amount of expenses on a monthly basis. Add to that, it also helps you understand if in case the inflation rate, which is fluctuating on a monthly or a quarterly basis in the current volatile market environment, you can also adjust that as per your assumptions. It again, to further simplify investors' queries and investors' concerns, it actually helps you understand how much you need, how much can you invest in a lump sum at a go at a certain age, and it can also help you understand how much exactly do you need to put in on a monthly basis. The terms used here, I have done it so that we can understand how the calculator works. So here, as it's mentioned, it actually shows you how much would you need, how much this investment and lump sum will lead you to via the SIP you do in Lifey. And after that, it actually shows you how much is the shortfall. There again, it actually adds a section called tips, which tells you that you can increase your lump sum or you can increase your monthly investment amount via an SIP to a certain amount. So if we end up changing the amount which is to be used, it will immediately help us calculate how much we need to change our verticals to. It will, if in case you over exceed or under exceed your investment amount, it will actually guide you to the same. So as you can see, it is a very easy to use tool, and it will actually help you understand how much exactly would you need to maintain the current amount of spending power you have. So as you can see, by you working on the tips suggested by the page, I adjusted the goals, and then it actually showed me how much even the surplus I will have. As Gaurav sir mentioned, it is not just a retirement tool. It's actually also a tool which can help you achieve all of your goals, like a dream car, a vacation, dream marriage, and even wealth generation. For that, I would like to take you to the beginning. Apologies. I'm having troubles logging in. So apologies.
So while Utkarsh, you try to get the screen back, I think one very interesting thing about Lifey is that it doesn't stop at just telling what your goals are, what are your requirements from a monthly or current allocation. It also goes beyond that and actually gives you what are the top funds from our side, that you can really invest in, that you can do an SIP in, that can really help you. So it is not just about giving you a calculator, it actually also takes you further ahead to the fact that, if these are the goals that you have chosen and, these are the amounts that you're looking at, which are the funds that you can actually invest in as a lump sum, which are the funds that you can do an SIP in, and what is the tenure of SIP that you'll put in to eventually take you to an action page where, if you just initiate and that, then the entire goal process starts from an investment journey point of view.
Yeah, so welcome back to the Lifey page. So as you can see, we have the page actually helps you, takes you to the first page. When you log into our iDirect page, you have to first go to mutual funds. Under that, you will have something in the subsections. You'll have something called Lifey. We have added an extra notification on it so that it's much more easily available and visible. So what does Lifey do? When you click on getting started for your journey, it actually asks you what kind of investor you are. You can either choose seven set of set targets which we have placed, or you can directly choose what kind of an investor you are. This helps Lifey determine the asset allocation which you need to do to based on your risk profile to achieve your targets. For these purposes, I'll select balanced. So from there, if you can see that not just retirement, it actually helps you achieve a lot of life stage milestones in life, like driving your dream car, buying your dream home, marrying in style, wealth generation, investing in education, and taking a vacation. Apart from all these features, Lifey also helps you create a customized portfolio for a specific target in mind. In this example, let's take dream car as an example. The features work almost exactly the same way as it will work for your retirement goals. It actually asks you what, how many funds do you require, after how many months do you require, what is the inflation rate you're targeting, how much lump sum can you invest, how much amount you can invest through a monthly SIP, and how long do you want the SIP investment to continue. Since here the amounts are prefixed, you can actually see that it has predetermined the whole criteria and actually told and actually informed the customer that this is the funds which they will require and these are the funds which will be available if these parameters are followed with a surplus of this. To balance it out, they have also suggested if the current parameters remain the same during the course of an investment, these are the factors which the customers can use to increase or decrease their investments so that they can be as close to the target as they want. Thank you.
So, before we move ahead, I also just wanted to uh, probably re-emphasize or highlight the importance of actually planning early. So, I'll share a quick slide which really talks about this. Is my slide visible?
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
sir.
So, something as simple as uh, if you start your investment journey at the age of 20, and if you even if you are investing just 1 lakh per annum and for 20 years, at the age of 60, your final amount becomes 4.24 crores. If instead of the age of 20, if you actually start at the age of 30 and you again invest the same amount, the compounding rate remains the same, at 10%, you end up with 1.63 crores instead of the initial amount of 4.24 crores. And if by chance you've actually started at the age of 40, and if you're doing the same investments, then you will end up with only about 63 lakhs. Uh, uh, Again, compounding, essentially the way it works is, the more time that you give your money to compound, the better are your results. 1 lakh compounded for 10 years is 2.59 lakhs. 1 lakh compounded for 30 years is close to 17.45 lakhs. And that is the difference that you see between the age of 20 to 40 and 40 to 60. Even minor, if you have the ability to save slightly higher, then even minor changes in your initial investment, if instead of 1 lakh, if you maybe invested 1.1 lakh and you compounded for 30 years at 10%, that 10,000 amount really makes a differential of 18 lakhs at the end of the tenure. And again, depending on what is your compounding rate. So 1 lakh compounded for 30 years at 8%, ends up at 10 lakhs. But if instead of 8%, if you had actually managed to compound at 12%, that money would have actually tripled. Instead of 10 lakhs, it would have ended up at about 30 lakhs. I think this is the trick that most people really miss out when they are doing retirement planning. That if you start early, then maybe the same amount of money or that small extra effort that you put in saving that extra money, if you are patient and you have longevity in terms of the tenure for compounding, the end result can actually be fairly different.
Okay. Yeah, that was very helpful and very insightful, Gaurav. We have a few questions, out of which one of these questions was at what age one should start planning for retirement. So I think you've almost answered that question. So, is there any specific age that you would recommend to start planning for retirement?
I think the earlier you start, the better. A lot of people think that this is too early for me to start retirement planning. But if you looked at the last slide, the later you start your investment planning, the more difficult it gets to really create a substantial corpus. So as I said, at the age of 20, if you had invested 1 lakh for 20 years, the amount that you would have ended up is 4.24 crores. And if you, instead of the age of 20, if you did it at the age of 40, you would have ended up with just 63 lakhs.
Okay. Right.
So if you haven't started the right ages right now, but otherwise the earlier that you start, the better it is.
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. We have a few more questions, so I would like you to take it up one after the other. How Lifey can help us in beating inflation or benchmark?
So there are two things. One is that the calculator itself is giving you an inflation parameter. And secondly, the benchmark obviously is that if you had looking at the entire journey of Lifey that Utkarsh had taken us, at the end of the pages, we actually come up with a set of schemes that we believe are the best suited over the medium to long term. And there are inputs that anybody who's actually come through us on the Lifey platform, we actually also help him change his schemes if required, if we think that there's something else that works and this doesn't work.
Okay, so we are able to do a rebalancing also at a later stage.
Yeah.
So that feature is available here. Yeah, because that was one of the other questions that was there. And when is it rebalanced? So as and when there is a requirement, so that is mentioned to the customers about the rebalancing.
Yeah, so I think the other point is that basis either what risk profile that you choose, or what is it that you have answered in the questions. Lifey actually comes up with your risk profile, and the risk profile is essentially a function of what is the volatility that you are willing to take. Over the long term, obviously equity is the best asset class. We all know that equity over long periods of time is compounded at 12%. But the point is, to get that compounding in equity, you have to have longevity, and the only way that you can have longevity if you are comfortable with the volatility of the portfolio. I think the second element that really comes in is that how far is your goal. So if your goal is only 6 months away, or 1 year away, or 2 year away, your equity allocation will be very low in that. Only if you give the goal enough time, 5 years, 10 years, is where that you can really come in with stronger equity allocation and really make the compounding work for you.
Okay, right. And there's one more question. Am I allowed to choose my own schemes?
Yeah, so apart from the schemes that you have given, we have given an editable feature which essentially allows you to actually change any scheme that we have chosen, or actually change all the schemes that we have chosen, and really create a completely different customized portfolio for yourself.
Okay, there are 2-3 other questions. How is Lifey different from other platforms which are providing goal-based investment tools?
So as I said, that the key differential is that while most goal-based investment tools end up giving you the numbers, in terms of, this is a DIY platform where beyond numbers, it actually tells you which are the funds that you can invest, and actually also helps you dynamically manage your allocations as you move ahead towards your goal journey.
I think these are all the questions that we have. So thank you everyone for joining this event. And in case you have any further questions, you can always contact your equity manager.
Yeah, so I think the closing comments from my side will be, again, plan early, start early. The earlier you start, I think your ability to plan for your retirement becomes far more easier. And be as conservative as you can in terms of your planning, because once you retire, obviously you will not have cash flows. So the more conservative you are in terms of adding your expenses or estimating health expenses, etc., the more tighter will be your entire retirement planning, which will ensure that once you actually reach that age and you have to start getting into retirement, you don't get hit by any negative surprises.
Okay, that was very insightful. Thank you very much, Gaurav. Thank you everyone for joining this event.
Thank you so much, everyone, and wish all of you a very happy Diwali in advance.
Yeah, happy Diwali.